How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the police-involved shooting of a 29-year-old black male by the name of Jacob Blake up there in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes away from Milwaukee. We'll talk about Milwaukee specifically a little bit later on in the video. There is footage of the shooting, of course. I cannot play that here. We are on the YouTubes, but if you want to see it for yourself, I'll link to it in the description box below. Now, this story just broke today, which is Monday, August 24th, 2020. So it happened last night, like Sunday evening, right around that particular time in Kenosha. So a lot of facts aren't really known yet. We don't have all the information. It's still really, really early. And I'll do a follow-up video to this once we get more information. However, we do have some information that can put an end to a lot of the disinformation and misinformation out there. First things first, Jacob Blake is not dead. Okay, they're already rioting out there in Kenosha. You know, the so-called BLM protesters, really rioters, are already rioting. You get all kind of places on fire. You know, one officer got hit in his head with a brick and knocked out cold as a result of the so-called protest. So they're already into the riotous action. Like, as soon as the story hit the internet, they were immediately out there engaging in riotous action. All right, that's already going on, but the guy's not even dead. He's in the hospital. He's in serious condition, but he's stable and he's awaiting arraignment. Now, why is he awaiting arraignment, you ask? Well, I'm glad you did ask that question. First of all, he did not comply with the officers. He was resisting arrest when he got shot. That's the first thing. But there's also a potential warrant. And I say potential because it's not been verified yet, but I'll put what I have on the screen before you. Everything seems to match up. The age, the location, the name, everything seems to match up. And there's also news reports of Jacob Blake with his picture in it from years ago, having some of the same or similar charges back then that he had an active warrant for right now. I'm not talking about an old warrant or old charge. Nah, the warrant was active and it was issued last month in July 2020. So this guy was wanted, had problems, had a criminal history, and when he was shot, he was not complying with the officers. Now, the reason why the officers were there, from what I'm reading, is that the police were called on him. He was not supposed to be where he was at when the police were called on him. So I don't know if that was trespassing or, you know, I don't know what that was, but the police were called on him and they arrived. Now, I'm also reading that it could have been, you know, some kind of domestic situation between two women and he was there in the middle of it. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that the police were called there and he's there and they're trying to detain him. Now, in the video, if you watched it, the police have the guns drawn and they're shouting commands at him. He's totally ignoring the commands. All right. The guy has his gun drawn on him out. Now, I've had a gun on me before. A few times I had a gun on me. I'm not trying to walk away and do whatever I want because I know that once the gun is out, I can get shot at any moment. So I'm gonna have my hands up. Whatever you need, I got you. All right. That's just kind of common sense. So if you have a gun on you, the police are shouting commands, you're refusing to listen and you're walking away, and the police may even know about him already. They may know what he has on his on his jacket, what he has on his warrant and his previous charges. He has, you know, assault on officers and stuff like that. He has that already in his past. So they know that potentially. And even beyond that, if you're walking away from an officer that has his gun drawn, shouting commands, the natural instinct is thinking, okay, this guy wants to resist. He wants to go try to get something to hurt me. So he's reaching into his car with a gun drawn on him, and then the police shoot him. It was like, okay, what was the alternative to that action? People say, oh, they should have tackled him. I mean, come on. Like, the gun is already out. Once the gun is out, I'm not trying to, you know, tackle you and get into any kind of other issues. The gun is out, get on the ground. Having the gun out actually makes things go a little bit smoother from what I know, because you're not going to be trying to fight usually. Put your hands up, get on the ground, and it's over with, because you're not trying to get shot and killed or just shot in general or injured in general. You just want to comply versus trying to fight. I'm not trying to be out here fist fighting you. All right. The gun is out, hands up, hands on the ground, get arrested. That's it. That's all. Don't try to like walk away and then get in your car There have been other incidents of officers in the same scenario where the guy's not complying, going to his car, and then getting his gun and then shooting and or killing the officers. That does happen. So I don't know what the alternative could have been other than what happened. And like I said, he's not dead as of yet. He could die, but as of right now, he's not dead. He's not even in critical condition. He's in serious condition and he's stable. So he's awaiting arraignment. And the next step will probably be him getting locked up. All right. Resisting arrest. And then the warrant. You're talking about what? Sexual assault, criminal trespass, domestic abuse. So he's pretty much toast. And the officers will be fine, in my humble opinion, because resisting arrest, reaching into the car, the guy's already known to be dangerous. The police were called on him. I mean, people got to stop all this stuff, man. Stop resisting arrest. I don't even understand what the purpose is. What are you even doing? All right. If the officers say, stop, put your hands up, and they got a gun out, you don't really have many options. You got to do what they say. But anyway, like I was saying earlier, Kenosha is not far from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, about 45 minutes away. Now, Milwaukee had an incident of a shooting of a black male, 60 years old, Brunel Tramiel. I did a video about that, and if you've not seen that, I'll link to it in the description box below. But he had a scuffle with a guy over his Trump sign about 4 days before he got shot. He was never known to be any kind of problem. He was always out there in the community holding different signs, not just Trump or conservative stuff, usually just, scripture, biblical stuff. He was known as the Rasta, the neighborhood Rasta. He was just a good guy, very well known and respected in the community. Never bothered anybody, just was a gentle person, right? Now, he gets shot after the incident with the Trump sign about 4 days later. Where's all the energy for that, man? I just don't see it. All right. One guy gets shot, not even dead, who was not complying with the officer's orders, had sexual assault allegations on his jacket. He was going to be arrested for sexual assault. All right. Had a prior criminal history already, had already been locked up. Not even dead. You tear the whole city up for him. But Brunel Tramiel, where's the energy? Where's even the care? These people that are out there talking about Black Lives Matter, they don't really care about Brunel Tramiel or any other person, any, truly innocent person. All they care about is when a person is shot and or killed by the police or a white person that could be in some kind of authority role. That's all they really care about. That's all that's really politically expedient. Benjamin Crump, the black ambulance chaser, he's already on a horn right now, trying to get to the next shooting victim he can politicize. Okay. If it's found out that it was a black person that did it, or if it was just some type of indefensible type thing, he'll back off because ain't no money to be made. It'd be bad PR. These people are just using black pain and whatnot for their own political purposes, for their own financial purposes. All right. Benjamin Crump will take the case pro bono, and then at the end of it, it'll be a big lawsuit and he'll take your 33%. That's pretty much how it goes with these guys. It's really a racket at this particular point in time. And that the BLM people that are out there rioting, I feel like, are just encouraging copycats to go do the same thing so they're able to capitalize off of it. It's kind of like a shakedown. BLM and Antifa come in, they tear a city up because somebody gets shot. Then that forces the police to do certain things. And of course, it's going to be a big payout at the end of it for the person that died, whether they're right or wrong. And then that money will be taken partly by BLM, partly by the lawyers, and not so much by the family of those that are no longer here. George Floyd's family, BLM raised $20 million in one day after George Floyd died. His brother got on TV and said, hey, where's my cut of the money? I've not gotten any money. See, they're not going to give you money, really. It's about them trying to enrich themselves and to empower themselves. That's what's going on. So if you're going to be out there rioting and whatnot for this guy, Jacob Blake, you might want to think twice. You're being used. You are a tool. Don't be a tool. Don't be used. All right. And like I said, this is still pretty early on in the case. We're going to find out more information. We're going to find out more details and the story from the officer's point of view. We're going to find all of that out, and I will do follow-up video once we get more information. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the officers were wrong in this case? Should they just, wrestle them on the ground, although they already had their guns out, so the gun could fall on the ground, the guy could get it and then shoot them and shoot himself or somebody else? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think that the officers did right? According to what we have seen and what we know, like I said, this could change. We're still really early on. But do you think they were right in what they did? Was the guy wrong in what he did? How do you feel about this general culture of outrage and I'm going to just tear stuff up because I feel like this person did something wrong, or it's a white guy that did it, or BLM told me to do it? How do you feel about that general culture? I hate it personally. I think we need to get really beyond that and look more towards, what's really going on. What are the facts of the situation? Let's wait a little bit before we just react and go way over the top of what's going on. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't even be any kind of going over the top. Wait a little bit so you're able to judge it more accurately. Look at it with a critical lens, and then you're able to really understand what's going on. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.